everyone. I wanted to have a little chat for whoever's interested in what groundedness and living means to us. Because we all at one time or another have heard someone say, why don't you get grounded and make a decision? Or in the spiritual world, groundedness is good for your being. I find it hard to remember all the ways that groundedness is spoken about now, because I just know the importance of it, and I want to express a bit of that today. So if we don't get an awareness around the acknowledgement of what grounding ourselves is, then we'll keep running around in the world, so to speak, believing we access everything we need by applying ourselves out there, putting ourselves out there for all our hopes and dreams and everything. But we need balance with that. So we are here as spiritual beings with these dreams in our soul's field, which is massive, and our soul here is wanting to experience these things. Some are experiences set up to occur, and highlights for the soul to achieve and enjoy different things. So the balance required of the human at this time is the acknowledgement of this spiritual self on a planet which is spirit as well, that just say sitting on the earth, for example. You are coming home to that simple fact. You're a being sitting on the earth. So you start there. But there is more happening when one acknowledges that that is an actual life experience. You are connecting with, grounding with the simple, earthly, spiritual connection. And this needs to feed your root system. So these are things that you don't know about yourself, but through this allowance of time and space, and there's various ways that you can ground using all of your presence. Because in the end, once you master this fact, you can ground anytime, anywhere, because you accept that this is your whole perspective. So if anything's happening out there, you ground within here. And you've taken the time to acknowledge that's a true part of yourself, and you're fed with your connection from the earth. She's an energy ball of light that is here for us. So we must accept we have a connection with this beyond the spiritual mindset of those hippies are meditating in the park. That's a throw out judgment of I couldn't see myself doing that or something like that. Whereas whoever they are, whatever they look like, they are just acknowledging their the power of the earth, this spiritual ball we are on, and all the delightful connections that are holding her spinning in place. So what that says is all of out there is going on, and we need to acknowledge where we are right now in that place. So you can think of it as life is going to go on the planet all around me all the time, and I have this for now what seems permanent, which you gotta, you embody yourself as, as you're fully here. You can call that kind of it feels permanent. The more you embody yourself, you can rely on this. It's impermanent because it will pass on back to spirit, and the energy will, transmute and go through its process of light. But for now, embodying our whole selves is the permanence I'm talking about. Yeah. I can only use that word because I can't feel any other word to describe that. For whatever time period you are here, that's who you are. And to fully embody that, we have to kind of calm down into the earth's light has more messages through our being. So if we don't calm down into our interior world and let that speak to us, which doesn't look like what's going on in the world, which is actually like always fresh, always like there is a light feed there that we don't acknowledge, so we don't fully become ourselves. So it takes this lifetime period, but with the assistance of the light coming in now to assist our shift, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, and be a conscious opening vessel of it, it's going to come into our light field and help open our awareness, because we're here for certain paths that we are not completely in control of. It's calm down and see how you from within bring yourself forward in this cooperation with the universe. So co-creation, the co-part of it, so that we're not just running around in the world and not deeply acknowledging this as a part of our power, as a part of ourselves, power to empower ourselves. So it's not just basically sitting under a tree like a hippie wasting time or something, or, it's just not that. It is our power source. We are connected here for this time period. We need to actually consciously make space available for this root system. So what I've got here, which you may have already read, I'm not sure how clearly you can see all the writing. Got the scales, outer, inner, and so we're always seeking this well, we're not always conscious of it, but this is what's happening. We're becoming more conscious of inner and out. So heaven and earth, spirit of dense formation, and heavenly, that which is happening behind the scenes all the time. So our inner world is part of that. We are spirit, we're connected. And so I've got the tree there because it's always the perfect spiritual example of us. That when we do our grounding, which is not only sitting on the earth and making time just to be, but when we do that consciously, whether we're in conversation, when we're doing something, we have to go and do things, or we're just a part of anything, we can take the time to consciously feel into what we know as grounding for ourselves. So when you take that time to connect with this grounding of this vessel, you're going to be fed the light to assist that which you are, rather than just thinking of yourself as, I'm the branches that does this. Because we're meant to create, so we're going to be busy doing things, but just don't forget your connection to spirit. Because when you do, it's in balance. So when imbalanced, conditions occur of various things, of various levels of the being. Mind, emotion, physical, and like no spiritual connection whatsoever, and just thinking that I'm just physical, I'll get what I want while I'm here and then I leave. You know, that kind of cut off to anything other than I'm just this. I'm just this physical person. So conditions will occur from ungrounded truth. So thinking that the truth is just the physical, I got to get more of the physical, you will have imbalance, and conditions will occur because you're just working too hard, really, in the physical realm, trying to make things happen in the physical. So it's all of a very subtle consideration, because we've known it so well. And if we subtly acknowledge that we're actually more, and we sort of come home to ourselves with this grounding that we're actually more, and what I have to do is just find ways to just settle with my energy field. So that's the groundedness you can do, practice, and become, your own master at this, because you know your energy field. And that's where you receive more. Your light is accessed, and you become aware of more. So when you become aware of more, it's more lighter, there's more of you being accessed. So this is the balance where the outer believes the outside is more important than balance or the inner world. So you have to come to an understanding of what it means to connect with your inner world, and it's through all different teachings of being present with that inner world. So the amount of times you ground your being determines how much of this you will realize is happening for you. So you take the time, light's coming through your being, more occurs to you. It takes the human that has grown on the outside knowing certain things. It takes that human's acknowledgement that there is more to express and more to learn and more to share. And it's an ongoing growth system. So the amount of times you ground your being, which means you want to let go of attachments on the outside world, whatever situation, whether it's this time is for myself, I'm going to let, the mind go and just feel that energy presence I am. Or, you're in conversation and you decide there's a lot going on and you just want to ground in yourself for your light access that you acknowledge and have practiced, so that you can get a feel of what's more connected to you for you to truthfully enact on. So, determines how much and how many times you are willing to be available for this, to access more of your energy field, to feel, to know. You get an inner knowing of what's happening out there, and your true need to be in it or not. Like, it's coming from inside. It's not the human controlling everything and saying, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. It's more, I know I've got to be a part of this. It's not always aimed at getting something. It's about being in the experience for what is to come that you don't know is to come. So we kind of, go along thinking we know if we do this, we get that. But then there's this other access that says, hang on, embody these different things about yourself. And so there's that bravery discovery. When you spend time with yourself, you feel these things, you know them, but who's going to live them if you don't? So you can't just sort of let them hang around them. You actually have to give life to it. So you let, the light of the earth assisting you express. And doing that is what raises the vibration, and you're an electric energy field, and if you're doing that, embodying who you really are, then your light is rippling out, and that's what you attract. It's just the way it is. But obviously, there's people who say, but I've done this and I haven't attracted that. Yeah, but what else is going on in the balance of the mind, Is it like old human beliefs or structures that say, if I do this, I should get that? Or is there something else trying to open up for you? So spending time with yourself, listening, dialoguing, journaling, and at the beginning, just being, to feel that you are more of a presence. So that can take rest and allowing space and different activities, and also not trying to solve everything out there, but deciding I have this true access that's there for me. When I open this presence up, I'm connected to the moreness that I am. So there's this flow happening and I can trust it. Instead of getting caught up in enforcing or struggling, you just got to let that go, because you don't want that in your energy field persisting. You want to trust the wholeness that you are. So access more of your energy field to feel, know, see, or be made available to you. So our heavenly spirit connection is unlimited, so it can be made available. Information that's happening behind the scenes can be made available in all different ways. It's up to you how much you ground, get to know your calm, intuitive availability. How you'll make yourself available in awareness means how much spirit can get to you with messages, like your spirit guidance. Or made available to you that which is happening behind the scenes for all of us, our light assistants. So this is all about our light assistants, the recognition of that we have more power than we think, and we should depend more on becoming one with this visit on planet Earth than one with stuff happening and continuing, so that we can ground more of this light. We can create more from this acknowledgement, and that's where you'll find balance with that heavenly, heaven and earth, eternal symbol. Okay, I think I'm done. Gosh, 20 minutes feels like hours. I'm so in another place. But yeah, I hope that helped. And this is something that we're all pointing to when we have this openness intent of the truth of who we are, all of us. So we must participate in it that way. And so after writing this and getting it all out and sitting with this flow expression, I shuffled the animal spirit cards, and I've got skunk spirit, and it says know your worth. I got a couple of other cards, but I wanted to narrow it down to the one. But the skunk spirit with the other cards, it really leads to what this one says, know your worth. So we feel more worthy inside, like life is here for us. We don't have to become something, like work hard at becoming something different. Yeah. Which is what, you know, the world had us thinking, that to get where we want to be, I must have to be different, like mingling in and become something that the world is wanting. That's layered in all our different structures. And now we're coming from being held by the light to acknowledge this. That we are to acknowledge the light within that we are, which is of the highest love resonance. And it's up to us just to sort of keep waking to that. Acknowledgement, acknowledgement, acknowledgement of that. So less focus and more balance, acknowledging the inner world now. Acknowledging that that's where any of the creation comes from. So let's go deeper in acknowledging the true presence of that, the power of that. Our true origins is of light throughout the galaxy. It's just an ongoing journey. So let's have a quick read of card 54. The skunk spirit. Pretty cool. Know your worth. Just skunk spirit. Description. Chess. It teaches us, what do you value? What do you believe in? Is your best, most authentic self on display? Skunk spirit comes as a reminder that you can be proud of who you are and what you have accomplished. Know your worth. Not everyone will agree with you or share your values, but you can walk with your head high, knowing that when you express your integrity, others can feel your authenticity and will be inspired by it. Be who you are, and if your reputation precedes you, good. You have much to be proud of, and Skunk Spirit wants you to be your best self, the true you. Not everyone, the protection message, not everyone will appreciate you. Many people have issues of their own to address, and you may trigger something in them, but if so, no matter. Skunk Spirit calls you to be fully yourself without apology. Now is a time for honesty and admitting that something does not sit right for you. You deserve the self-respect that comes when you courageously choose to stand up for yourself and speak your truth in love. Remember who you are and what really matters to you, and act with integrity. You'll be glad you did. You'll be so glad you did. And that's alignment, you know. That's aligning. It's like I'm standing up for who I am in here. And so that's a lifestyle, because we can let it slip and just go on with things. But it's like when interior world speaks, you listen. You make this, you know, your crowning glory, your heart. When your interior world speaks to you, you be a part of that. Even if no one wants to stand up for it. You know, because it doesn't suit their lives, but you have this interior world that you must stand up for. Your true self. So yeah, just reminds me, like with my course that I've got, it's a short 5.5 hour course, Getting to Know Your Soul, which emphasizes this coming home to yourself and standing up for yourself. That the write-up I did for the course, I was talking to, at the very beginning of that write-up, I was talking to the point that people on the outside are not going to know the soul that's trying to come through. It's up to you to bring it through. And so that's where it's like, you got to build that courage, ask spirit to assist you with courage or bravery. Because it's your journey of discovery as to why, you know, not why is this happening to me? What more is there to this? Why is this happening? So, yeah. So for various reasons, on various layers, on various days, in all of life, this is what you're being asked to get to know more of, like to bring this access of you to be available, and you make space for it and it makes space for you. Like that's that vibrational attraction. So it's a clearing out of any attention that's just sort of random, I'll do anything. Like there's an ungrounded nature to existence where we just sort of don't want to ground into anything different. If that's the way they say life is, if that's the way they want to treat me, if that's what's going on out there, then I just got to make myself fit, which is not the kind of world we like living in presently. So, excuse me. Yeah, so if we don't acknowledge that solar plexus shine and embody it, then we're not going to allow in what it is that it's speaking to us. And like I said, it's like the root system coming up through the solar plexus. So if your solar plexus wants to speak but your heart is scared of things, then you're not allowing. Your human is not allowing, not agreeing with this higher alignment of your whole being. So that's where you take notice of how you are pushing yourself down because that's what they want, or telling yourself different things that it'll happen later on. You know, but the truth is, that's what you're doing to yourself. You're not allowing the truth out. So I find this really important, crucial beingness. And we are in that solar plexus, heart, expression, expansion, light supporting, no more giving in. You know, it is time for the uprise shift of our beings. So, you know, if you're pulling yourself back into the old patterns and you're staying there, then that's where you're staying. But the light is emphasizing your forward momentum. So, God bless everyone. And I got this little angel card for today as well, if anyone's interested, if it has any relevance to you. It's gorgeous. And that's it for now. So I'll see you again soon. Have a great day wherever you are. Bye.